Okay, so today we're going to be talking about human homeostasis for the lab. So you first off, you have to sign up for the Gizmo account, and that's lesson number three. On lesson number three, I give you a code, and you have to use this code to sign into my class. So if you just go at the bottom, each class has a separate code, so don't get a code from one of your friends. Make sure that you go to your specific class's assignment and then find the sheet at the bottom of number three, and it gives you the login information and how to create an account and the code for my specific classroom. So let's go on to the lab. So the objectives for today. So what you guys are supposed to be doing, and because assignment number three was just signing up, this lab is long. This is probably like 2 class worth of work. So make sure that you have at least an hour. It might take some of you an hour and a half to finish, but normally labs do take that long. So first, let's go over the learning objectives. So you need to explore the effects of exercising, sweating, shivering, clothing on body temperature. You're going to regulate the body temperature in a simulated person, like on here. They have a person who runs, they exercise, they sweat, they have clothing that you're going to remove or add on. So you're going to identify the consequences of allowing the body temperature to get too high or low. And so we talked about this sort of in the first assignment, like negative and positive feedback. Negative feedback to the body temperature being high is that you start sweating to cool yourself down. And then you are going to understand the importance of food and water and homeostasis. So if you run out of food, which basically produces glucose for your body, or if you run out of water, serious things can happen. So the vocab. On this assignment, I have a vocab worksheet. You don't have to fill it in. It's just all the vocab you need to know for this, specifically dehydration, heat stroke, which is a medical condition, homeostasis, hypothermia. Hypothermia means, which you'll learn about it in a second. I don't want to give it away. Involuntary, which just means if something's involuntary, like your heartbeat is involuntary. You cannot control it. So this doesn't mean, this is talking about like human body systems. And voluntary means something that we can control, like you moving around, you running, you walking, whatever. That's voluntary control. And then thermoregulation. So thermoregulation, thermo meaning temperature, and then regulation meaning to regulate, being able to control that. And so thermoregulation obviously is an involuntary response. You can't force yourself just to start sweating to cool yourself down. Your body does this automatically. There's another term that I want to add on. It's called osmoregulation, osmosis, so like water regulation. That's another thing that we'll eventually learn about, but just think about that while you're doing this lab. So the lesson overview. So basically, if you've ever exercised on a cold day, you may have noticed how much your body warms up. Like you warm up pretty hot. Like you might have to start taking off clothing because you think it's going to be cold outside, but no, it's you actually warm up like significantly. So in this lab, Gizmo is going to allow you guys how to thermoregulate or to maintain a constant internal temperature. So on here, there's activity A and activity B, and it's on the sheet that I have. There's a sheet on the side that you can fill out. Like you're not just answering questions within this lab. You're actually following along with this worksheet that I gave you, and the worksheet is pretty simple to follow. I mean, it's like you start here, you go here, you adjust here. So follow that. Don't just randomly start answering questions. There is no way you can use prior knowledge to almost all these questions. You have to go along with the lab. So activity A, students explore which factors raise and lower and maintain body temperature. Activity B is a little different. It's students try and maintain a stable body temperature for the person in a changing environment. So how I want you guys to go through with this is you need to do the pre-Gizmo activity. It's on top. You'll see it up there. It's going to talk about like your prior knowledge, concepts, stuff like that. There is really no right or wrong answer for these. These are much more just to like activate your knowledge. Then you guys are going to start doing the Gizmo activities. So sections A and B should probably take you about maybe 50 minutes to complete. And then you have some like follow-up questions at the end, which should take 10 to 15 minutes. I am going to have my office hours still. It's every day from 10:30 through 11:15. But if you guys want me to like help you, like walk you through the lab, please reach out to me on Google Hangouts. And then from there, I will be able to help you just walk through it. So I can do outside of my office hours, I can help you guys do this, but I need to like have you share your screen with me because it's really hard for me to see what you're doing or to know what you're doing wrong unless you're doing that. So please reach out in Google Hangouts. We can set up a like a one-on-one time, and if not, I will see you either today or Monday if you guys don't get it done on this weekend.